Chris Alemany. This is the Alberni Weather Podcast for October 30th, 2025. Long time no see. We'll get right into it. There's some fun weather coming, so I thought I would do this podcast and a blog and get everything up to date. So yeah, let's look at it. So in my actually, I'll just show you the current temperatures. It's 6 degrees at Alberni Weather. We have some very light winds, 3 kilometers out of the northwest. And it's a nice, clear, mostly clear day. A little bit of high cloud, a little bit of fog, but cool and crisp, and nice fall kind of day. So last weekend we had some pretty good rain, and a couple days ago we had some lightning. So that's pretty cool. I don't get that very often. And this weekend we'll be getting some more rain and a little bit of wind. So we have a low pressure center coming over the island, and it's not too strong. You can see it here on the map. Nothing super strong here. It just looks like it's about 60 knots at the strongest down there on the southwest quadrant of the storm. But it will bring some good gusty winds, especially to the west coast and to the North Island. So we'll check this out. So let's just back this up and we'll look at the rain that we can expect over the next few hours and days. So the rain should come onto the island starting tonight, just after midnight. The North Island will start getting the first band of rain from the coming storm. So that's the 5 o'clock view. So you can see it's coming down the island, and then by morning, by sunrise, rain should have begun in Port Alberni, certainly on the west coast, also Campbell River and Courtenay. So we should see that starting up around 8 o'clock or just before 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Friday morning. Rain will continue through the day on Friday, so Halloween is going to be wet. You will definitely want to get everybody all slickered up and have your umbrellas, because it will be wet throughout the day on Friday and into prime trick-or-treating time around 5 o'clock. You can see Port Alberni is definitely wet. Plenty of rain there. All of the South Island, it is starting to clear up. You can see the back side of the front is starting to come down the island just before 5 o'clock, so in the afternoon, Friday. So Campbell River and points north will have cleared up a little bit, so that's good for trick-or-treating. But certainly the Port Alberni area from about 5 until 8, there's still going to be a fair amount of rain around. By 8 o'clock, it does look like it has moved just past Port Alberni, that backside of the front there. So maybe you'll get a little bit of respite in the later hours, but I know things usually are finished for trick-or-treating by 6 or 7. So yeah, so it's going to be pretty rainy for Halloween, and of course the Blue Jays game, 5 o'clock. So yeah, the rain will continue though. On the extreme south end of the island, it might get a bit of a break just around midnight tomorrow. So that's Friday into Saturday. But this rain band will back up, as we've been seeing a few times over the past few winters and falls. These atmospheric rivers are just lingering, and they tend to back up and whip back. So the South Island, Victoria, Shawnigan Lake, into the Cowichan Valley, Saturday morning there will still be rain when you wake up. and then it backs up completely into the new front when the storm is actually coming on land. The low pressure center is coming on to Vancouver Island. There will be rain associated with that as well. So we can see 8 o'clock Saturday. Most of the island is covered in rain. We have some strong bands here, and there's going to be stronger winds as well. So there isn't too much in the way of winds for the first part of it. It's just rain, wind out of the southwest, not too strong, but the winds will pick up a little bit on Saturday morning. So if you're looking for a ferry Saturday morning, there could be some disruptions there, especially on the north side. Comox to Powell River. Yeah, so 11 o'clock Saturday. This is the low pressure center coming into the island, and you can see there's some stronger winds here, south to southeast, running around. And then by the afternoon on Saturday, once the low has crossed the island, the winds will switch around to the west or northwest and be quite strong. So we can see there's still rain through the day on Saturday for most of the island, and then it starts to dry out Saturday evening with those strong northwest winds or westerly winds. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the weekend. After that storm passes on Saturday afternoon, we just have some scattered showers through Sunday, and not too much in the way of winds. Maybe a little bit of gusty westerlies, Saturday night and into Sunday morning. But other than that, just some patches of rain, maybe a little bit of thunderstorms, because we sometimes get that with the sort of leftover energy of these storms, but nothing too serious. And then by Sunday night, we've pretty much dried right out, and that's going to be the end of our weekend. So not too bad. It isn't going to last long. It's not going to be a long event, but certainly Friday will be wet through Halloween time, and then Saturday morning will be wet as well, as we have that low come onto the island. So let's just look at the wind, what we can actually expect for wind gusts from that low. So if we look here, zoom in a little bit as we go. So these are 25 knots is the salmon colored here. 20 knots is yellow, and then gray is 30, 35, and 40. So you can see Friday morning on the North Island. It's getting up to 50 knots, which is about 90 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. So that's going to be Cape Scott and Solander Island and that area, but not that strong for the south parts of the island. Friday afternoon and late morning, as the front is going by there, you can see 35 knots in the west coast and in the Strait of Georgia there. So that's about 60, 70 kilometers an hour. So not too much concern there. Shouldn't be a cause for concern for the ferries. You can see that front moving by, and then the winds die down considerably. And then in the morning, Saturday morning, as the low pressure comes in, you can see it's not too low. It's only about 1,000 hectopascals or millibars. You can see that band of 50 knot winds on the one side, but not too bad. Its most powerful is about 60 knots, so that's 120 kilometers an hour. but well offshore. Doesn't look like that when we're up against the island here. So not too bad. There's our strongest point. So the low is pretty much expected to go right over top of Port Alberni. So if we get around 1,000 hectopascals or maybe 99.9 kilopascals, then we'll know that we're right underneath the low pressure, and that should send, because if the low is right over top of the Alberni Valley, then the strongest winds are going to be closer down towards Victoria and Cowichan. So we in Port Alberni usually get the strongest winds if the lows come in over Gold River or so. That usually sets us up well for strong winds. But this is looking more like it's going to go straight over top of the Alberni Valley when it comes onto the island, and most of the strongest winds will be down towards maybe Nitnat or Port Renfrew, or the tip of Western Washington there. So we can see Juan de Fuca Strait have some 50 knot winds down there. So certainly, the lighthouses down there should get some good gusts. Maybe Tawasin, 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So those afternoon, evening sailings out of Tawasin could be impacted. But again, it's pretty short lived. It should be done by Saturday evening, 8 o'clock. You can see that the low has moved on and dissipated. So not too much after that. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the storm. Other stuff that it'd be good to check out here. Just want to check out the long range forecast for Port Alberni here. Looking out towards the next 2 weeks or so. So here's the 16-day forecast, just to see if we get any colder weather or anything. Doesn't look like it. We're staying pretty much in that 4 to 8 degrees range for average temperature. Minimum temperatures aren't really touching freezing. Maybe at the very end, but the very end of these forecasts can be the most random. So I wouldn't take a whole lot of certainty out of that. But yeah, it's looking pretty mild. I don't see any really serious cold snaps. Definitely some precipitation though. So this is this weekend. That's the storm this weekend, about 60 millimeters or so expected. Then a few days of not too much, and then it looks like mid next week to late next week we should get some more rain, probably a little bit of wind along with that. And by the middle of the month, November, we're looking at about a 400 millimeters. So that's not huge for November. We're often up to 500, 600 millimeters in a strong year. We'll see what we get. These forecasts can sometimes be pretty out there. There's a little bit of snow way off in the distance there, but I don't think so. Doesn't look like we're seeing any big changes in the weather pattern that would indicate a switch to an Arctic flow or something like that, or a big Arctic high coming down from the north. So looking pretty mild. Maybe we'll have a few more storms in the next week or two, giving us a bunch of rain. So that's not all bad. We're used to that around here. Just wanted to show you the earthquake map in the past little while here, few days. Just some little guys, nothing too big. We had one larger for magnitude 4 earthquake a couple days ago. That's the 23rd, so that's actually a week ago. So not a whole lot of earthquake activity around the island of late, but just little guys here and there. That was the 26th. Not a whole lot going on in the earth lately, at least around our neck of the woods. There's the 29th. That was yesterday, so a little bit of a shaker, way down, 24 kilometers down, off the west coast. Always fun to see, and check that out. So, I'll stop it there. Thanks again for listening and tuning in. We'll be doing this again not too long from now, and I'll see you then.